All right, so today I've got a hankering to have you all accuse me of being a highly irresponsible parent. I'm going to teach my daughter Lily some forgotten, but in my opinion, highly useful skills, starting with how to carve wood with a utility knife. You always want to hold the wood carefully, and then you have to carve away from yourself like this. See how the sharp edge is always going away from me?
Now can I try?
You never carve towards yourself like this, because that's how you cut your finger. One time when Daddy was little, I was carving for the first time. I was just a year or two older than you. I was using a pocket knife, and I actually cut myself really bad. I'll guide you at first, okay? In time, you'll be able to do it yourself, but you want to kind of angle the blade.
I already got the idea.
Now, that actually splintered off not in the right way. It didn't carve cleanly, and that's because we're carving in the wrong direction. We're tearing the wood grain, so that tells us we have to turn the wood around. Now it should carve better. That's it. See? Nice sliver of wood. Hold on to the wood underneath with your other hand.
Please don't guide me much more.
Well, I have to, sweetie, at first. Please don't guide me, she says. Already so independent.
Okay, I don't care if you make fun of me or not.
Daddy's just teasing, not making fun of you. That's it. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
That's a thick piece of wood.
Daddy was about your age when I learned. And like I said, I wasn't as careful as I should have been when I first learned, and I actually
The wood sits
cut
carefully.
my thumb pretty badly. I still have the scar somewhere on my thumb here. This is how you start to shape wood. Now right now we're not trying to carve anything in particular. I'm
Maybe just a
teaching you-
cool shape.
Yeah, just a cool rounded shape.
I don't need any help. Unless you're holding the wood.
I'm just going to hold the wood for you. You keep angling it away like that, okay? That's it.
Now it
doing fine.
begins to look like something.
Well, it's looking more rounded, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna try carving this pretty smooth here. Smooth, but like this. There's like tips going over it. So then the corners won't be very sharp. Like
Good idea.
The wood. And then especially here. I might get to here at the end and carve a bit like that and that to make it more round.
As long as you never carve towards your fingers or towards your body.
You might get a utility knife right through your heart.
Well,
Otherwise.
let's hope not. I'm actually putting my thumb here on the back of the guide of the blade, on that silver part. And the reason I'm doing that is because that gives me more control. And sometimes I actually put two thumbs like that. And then you can kind of push the blade along, and it gives you more control. You can also go deeper and take off smaller bits or bigger bits, depending on what part of the carving you're doing. That's it. Yep. Like that. That was a good one. Now you should never try to lift up a piece of wood with the knife. Like you should never try to dig in and then like twist the knife to lift it off. That could break the blade, and it will also tear the wood. Instead, you want each stroke of the knife to be like a smooth movement where the blade goes in, and then the blade comes out of the wood. You're never trying to
like a bit of a very slightly round, like ditch sort of shape. It's like
yeah, like a very slightly round ditch sort of shape.
It's a good progress.
Yeah, you're doing great. Try to carve a little bit more quickly like Daddy showed you. Not too quick, because you always want to stay in control.
Maybe I should begin carving here because it's a bit.
Well, no, keep working on the side you're working on for now.
Yeah, but it's a bit hard to carve.
Yeah, you have to angle the blade a little bit more.
Like that.
Yes. That's it. That's a good shaving there. Keep going.
It's hard.
With it. Good. That's the right idea.
I wasn't trying to pull it up. I was trying to.
I know, you didn't pull it up. You carved through it.
Maybe I'll begin polishing my sword now. It's
Okay.
getting a bit hard because when you get here, you get less and you barely get much. So love to
Why
get
don't
your.
you start by telling the people watching this video the story of this sword, which is a real sword, not a toy. Take it out and show us and tell us the story.
My dad had made this sword when he was little, younger at least, older than me. I don't know. and he gave it to me.
That's right. I made that out of an old hoof rasp when I was 12, and now it's yours.
And I get the permission to sometimes even use it when an adult is near.
Yes, with supervision, exactly.
Yeah,
because
but there's
that's
a bit
real
of rust,
weapon. It's not a toy.
and there's a bit of rust on it. So today we're gonna polish it now.
We're going to use these
Yeah,
pads here. These
I
are
saw those before.
rubbing pads, 3M brand
I
rubbing
just
pads.
saw. I just saw about a bunch of dust come out.
Yeah, because these are a little bit used, so there's some dust from other stuff in them. You can use these to polish anything metal that gets rusty, and that's why I'm teaching you that, because sometimes you have a metal tool or a weapon like this one, and it gets rusty, and you want to take the rust off so it doesn't get worse. Do you know what makes steel like this get rusty, by the way?
No.
Water. When water gets on steel, it makes it rust.
Oh,
Okay, so-
then maybe we should do it somewhere dry.
Well, it's okay because it's not super snowy yet. It won't be getting rusty that fast. There's different hardnesses or roughnesses of pad here. Feel that one. That's pretty rough, eh?
Yeah, but it's like coconut.
And this one's a little bit less rough. Feel that one. See?
Yeah, more
So we're going to
squishy.
start with the really rough one. Careful
Okay.
around the edge of the
Rough.
sword.
Yeah, because Ref said wash it.
Well, not wash it, but
I
what
mean,
we're doing is we're
clean it,
basically
sorry.
just rubbing off
Sorry.
the rust. Like this. And just start to do kind of circular patterns, bracing the blade against the edge of the table so we can keep it pretty steady. So why
On the
don't you start rubbing that?
I think, well, how come there's this?
Well, that's just a different rubbing pad.
Yeah, but how come it has this thing? This.
Well, that's just because I cut out a piece to use for something else. It doesn't have to be perfectly shaped. But why don't you see what you can do with some of the rust near the tip here, which is probably the most rusty spot. Okay? Look, you can see the little bits of rust powder coming off. See? Look at that. So that means you're doing well. Start by taking the bulk of it off on the front of the blade, or the flat of the blade, as they call it.
Yeah, it is pretty flat, you know. So there's a reason why they call it the flat of the blade.
Keep going. That's it. Good job. You're holding it exactly right. That's a very safe way to do it. See how Daddy's pressing hard and doing it really fast? It speeds up the whole process. And every so often I'm using a different part of the rubbing pad so that the pad doesn't get worn out too much. Now look at that. See, I'm using a different rubbing pad now. Let's bring the camera around so people can see how nice that's turning out. I remember when I made this sword out of that old hoof rasp. It took a long time
What's a hoof rasp?
A hoof rasp is like, you know, Mommy's nail files?
Yeah.
It's like a giant nail file for horses' hoofs. It's rough, and you use it to file down horses' hoofs so that they don't get too long and hurt the horse's feet. So Daddy took a grinder, it's like a loud tool that can grind away metal, and I ground down that old hoof rasp so it was smooth instead of rough, and then I ground it into a point, and I ground bevels, that's sharp edges, on the sides, and then it became a sword. Here, can you hold the phone while it's filming, sweetie, and kind of point it at the sword, and try to get a close-up of what Daddy's doing? There, that's good. Taking this new rubbing pad, see? And once again, rubbing it nice and fast. You see how I'm doing that?
Yeah, I know.
And I'm pushing quite hard too. And you can see already how much nicer.
I see a few droplets of snow on it, and it looks so colorful.
Yeah, the snow is like reflecting off of the blade, eh? Look how much shinier it's getting already. Well, we'll start on the other side now, and then we'll clean up the first side later.
I think it's okay.
That's good.
Sorry.
Perfect. That's the way, sweetheart. There. It's not perfect, but it's much better. Certainly good enough for our battle with the trolls in the woods that we're about to have. Okay, so we're now heading to the back half of the
And
cabin.
this is a log.
That's a log, yep. This is where I've got a construction project, a little addition going on. And I'm going to show you how to drive some deck screws, sweetie, with an impact driver. So come over here to the outhouse. Do you know what an impact driver is, Lily?
I think It's sort of a mechanical screwdriver. Works on batteries
Yes,
or...
it kind of looks like a gun. It's got a trigger and everything. Here, go on in there.
I like the smell in here. And here's one of those that we're talking
That's right.
about.
That is an impact driver. Why don't you grab that? Go ahead.
Which one?
The top one. The bottom one is a drill. Similar, but a bit different. So you got to lift it up and off. There you go.
This is heavy.
It is pretty heavy, but don't worry. You'll be able to use it. I'm also going to grab some screws once you get past me here.
Maybe we can use those scraps of wood over there to screw together.
All right. Yes, there's some scraps of wood over there that we can use for sure.
Yeah, and I can put this on. It'll look like a compass. Maybe this diamond one would be best first.
I'm going to show you how to do it first to get it started. We'll only drive two pieces of wood together first, okay? So
Yeah, I'm going to drive this and this together.
Well, actually, we'll put the... Now, this piece is actually too thin to drive a screw. It'll split if we drive a screw. This is a deck screw, a 3-inch long plated deck screw. And the deck screws are really good for fastening things together. These are stronger for fastening things together even than nails, because they have what's called threads, those sticking
I think
out
nails
parts.
have threads too. They're
They
smaller
don't really.
ones.
Not really. They have little ribs sometimes, but it's not the same. So, you see this square end here on the impact driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put that in the head of the screw and start to pull the trigger slowly, pushing the screw down. So
Push the trigger?
Slowly at first, yes. And I'll push it down. You keep pulling the trigger. That's it. Keep going. See, it's going in. Look at that. Oh, wait, I forgot to hold the wood. It started to spin on us. I'll hold the wood and the impact driver, and you pull the trigger, okay? Go ahead. That's it. Keep going. It'll make some loud noises at the end. That's normal. More. Keep squeezing it a little bit more. You have to make quite a few loud noises until the head of the screw is all the way down. Hold it for longer than that, okay? Not in little... There. You drove your first screw. Look at that. See how solid that is? Let's show the folks at home here. Take a look.
It looks like a dinosaur, and this could be the eye.
It does kind of look like a dinosaur, you're right. And this is the head. Now, I'll hold the screw in place, and you put the tip of it in it, and make sure the tip of the screw, the tip of the impact driver is all the way in. Yeah, and the gun is straight up and down.
I'll try.
Which it is. That's the way. You're doing it. Oh, try to keep the tip, that funny sound, that was the tip of the gun slipping. There we go. Keep pushing it down. That's it. Keep going. Squeeze more, because it has to make a bunch of it. There. A little bit more, actually. A little bit. Good. Now, look at that. Another perfectly driven screw. You have tried with a regular hand screwdriver before. That's a lot slower and harder than this, isn't it?
A bit.
How do you like this thing? This
I
impact
guess.
driver?
I guess.
You guess?
I guess.
Okay, well, what do you say? I think we've done enough work now.
Or it could
What do
go
you
like
say we
this,
go
like-
and play with your sword in the woods now? Huh?
Okay, but maybe first changing my feet to new, warm, thicker socks, and my toes are freezing.
Okay, let's go get some thick socks and then let's go have some fun. Your sword, Queen Lily.
Mm.
Now, let's go adventure up there in the woods and see if we can find any trolls or goblins. Let the adventure begin.
Dad made these stairs for me. It's a bit sloped, so when I go down, the slope sort of starts me, and I race with Luna to see who will get down first.
Nice to be able to get up here, up the bluff, though, isn't it?
Yeah. We live in a forest, and there's deep moss all around this bluff and on top of the bluff. Here we are now. We're exploring, and we're pretending that some dead trees and dead rotten bits of wood and logs are trolls.
And we're going to teach them a lesson with your sword.
Yeah.
Here, point the cameras towards Daddy, and I will show them.
Freshly polished.
Freshly polished sword. Ah. Queen Lily, you must go to battle. Be careful.
Ah!
That's it. Teach that troll a lesson.
The trolls will take over these woods. You cannot stop
Yes. Good. Two-handed strikes. That's excellent. You're getting him, sweetie. That's the way.
Strong, eh?
You got him.
Oh, the Maxwell's power.
The Maxwell power, exactly. Congratulations.
Maxwell power!
Congratulations, Queen Lily. You have defended our woods.
The Maxwells are the queens and kings.